Welcome to Owning the Goal, the podcast where we believe that success in sales is success in life. I'm your host, Brian McFarland, and this is where we break down not just the art of selling, but the bigger picture, how sales connects to everything we do, whether it's business, sports, music, books, or even the beautiful game of soccer I was playing this morning. It also comes back to the same principles: discipline, mindset, strategy, and the drive to win. On today's episode, I'm flying solo. That means we're going deep into the world of sales and beyond, talking about the lessons that shape us, the habits that move us forward, and the stories that remind us why the grind is always worth it. If you're ready to sharpen your skills, challenge your thinking, and find inspiration from all corners of life, then you are in the right place. So what's been going on, folks? This is episode number 23. I am so grateful to the listeners, to our guests. We're going to have recurring guests now that have come on to share their stories, to give me advice, to give others advice, and share their wisdom. It's been just incredible. In the last week alone, I've had on David Berkowitz, the author of Using AI for Marketing, just a fantastic book. Lauren Burke, who talked to us about leaving the corporate world and hanging out her own shingle, so inspiring. And then Andrew Barbuto, who top sales producer, who is becoming my own mentor, though he's 20-something years my junior, about reminding me and the listeners, we had him on last week, and he's going to be our first recurring guest, about the things you can do to refresh, reboot, and renew, which is so inspiring. And I've had so much help from some of my colleagues at Epsilon, Stephen, Carson, and of course, the rock of my world, Marisa, who makes me the best person I can be every day. We're also been engaging with ChatGPT to help us write outlines, emails, give personal advice, professional advice, listening to Diaries of a CEO, great podcast, and also, as always, listening to Robin Sharma, or reading Robin Sharma in the 5 a.m. Club. But the one that hits home today is a book by Ryan Holiday, Discipline is Destiny. So where we're going with this, and it comes really right out of his book, it's not a book review, but it was setting the scene to talk about refreshing and renewing, because again, I just started a new job, and it's been so joyous and joyful, but I also had to remind myself, and it was quite honestly because of these podcasts and some of my colleagues and now friends and mentors who were able to step in and help me refresh what's old is what's new again. So have you ever felt like we're spinning your wheels? You're busy, you're producing, but somehow you're not hitting that top level of output you know you're capable of. Maybe your schedule is packed, your to-do list is long, and yet something feels, off. I know that's where I am. That's where the words of the ancient Romans, and comes from Latin here, Festina Lente, comes in. Make haste slowly. Notice the pause there. Think about your breathing. I know I'm throwing out tons of tips all through. When they do those deep breathing exercises where you take a deep breath in for 4, you hold for 4, and then you exhale for 6 or for 8. Why do we do that? Well, our heart rate increases as we inhale, getting ready for something, and then as we do those long exhales, we bring our heart rate down, and in theory, we're able to think more clear and also relax the body. So great exercises to do during the day. So Festina Lente is a reminder to pause, refresh, and approach your work methodically. Think of it as recalibrating your internal engine. Instead of rushing through tasks, you slow down just enough to make sure every step is precise, efficient, and aligned with your goals. It had me imagining a world-class sprinter, or myself trying to be a world-class goalkeeper out on the pitch today, learning from a gentleman who should have played professional soccer. Shout out to Ronaldo, who was helping me with goal kicks for an hour, and then I practiced for another hour after that. Still got a long way to go. Where we visualize taking a moment to breathe, stretch, and visualize. We weren't moving slower. We're preparing methodically to explode at the right moment. That's what this principle is about. Intentionally pacing yourself to maximum output. So let's talk about why refreshing and restarting works. Always love when there's a science behind it, right? There's a psychological principle here. The brain can only maintain high-level focus for about 90 minutes at a time. After that, attention wanes, mistakes creep in, and productivity dips. No surprise. I'm sure we've all felt that. But when we adopt Festina Lente, we create natural pauses. We allow ourselves to step back, assess what's working, and adjust our approach. Think of it as a mini reboot for your brain and for your workflow. So a practical example is you're writing a proposal, designing a marketing campaign, or building a product. You've been at it for hours and hours. Your progress starts to feel slow. So instead of pushing through and probably getting a lower output, you take a deep, deliberate pause. Maybe it's 5 minutes, stretching, hydrating, snacking, reviewing your plans, and you get that perspective. So when you step back, you see the bigger picture, you notice inefficiencies, and you often discover better ways to achieve your goals. Methodical action produces consistent, high-quality results. That is structured production. Now, applying Festina Lente, how do you apply this in our daily life? Well, here's 3 practical ways that I worked on with my friend GPT this morning. 1, structured pauses. So building intentional breaks into your workday. Not just a coffee break, or as I enjoy my C4, a great caffeinated but no sodium beverage. Maybe as the listenership goes, we'll get them to be a sponsor of our fine show, because C4 helps me own my goals. When I build those breaks into my workday, it's not just a stoppage, it's a time to pause and reflect. What is working? What's unnecessary? What can I adjust? Even 5 minutes every 90 minutes can and will be a game changer. Micro resets when switching between tasks. Take a moment to reset. Clean off your desk, close your eyes, stretch, take a few deep breaths. This clears mental clutter and primes you for your next task. And then finally, 3rd step, a weekly recalibration. As the week schedule goes on, create a goal review session towards the end of that week. Look at your progress, reset your priorities, and plan the week with methodical precision. This ensures you're not just busy, you're producing at your best. I like to think, of this all as a refresh button, for top production. It's not slowing you down, it's giving you leverage. Think of it as working smart with purpose instead of just moving fast for the sake of moving fast. The mindset shift, well, it's mental. Rushing can feel productive, but often it's just noise. Festina Lente teaches us to value precision, planning, and focus. When you embrace this mindset, you gain 2 things: confidence in your work and consistent high-level output. It's a paradox. Slowing down momentarily actually accelerates your progress in the long run. It's the difference between sprinting blindly and running strategically with endurance. It's so validating to see these things, and it's also, this is like episode 2.0 of a prior episode I'd done on owning the goal, which if you haven't listened to it, I hopefully you would enjoy it, called Slowing Down to Speed Up, where we use some of the musical instruments that are behind me. If you can see me on YouTube, if you can't, on Spotify or Connect, you'd see a bass, a 12-string guitar, and a 6-string guitar. And how we work on those instruments or music is really through math and repetition of just doing the same action, practicing scales, whatnot, over and over and over again, because we've practiced Festina Lente, where we paused to speed up. So, again, I want to thank all the great guests that have been coming on, especially Andrew, and remind her to go get his book, who helped me, and I know our audience, we got some great feedback in, to reset one's approach to selling, learning, researching, and before just blindly sending out cold call emails or whatever you're doing in your life, really thinking about what you're doing, taking that time, because that's going to produce much more of a quality output, which then can be repeated to a wide audience and help you develop your sales and production. So as we close up today, remember this. Well, I have to give a shout out to my dad. He had a great statement, and I don't know if it was his quote, but he always told me, as I would go to do something and do it wrong, so I'd have to come back and do it again on a second time or a third time. So, Brian, why is there always time to do it a second time or a third time, but never time to do it the right way the first time? There always was time. I just had to stop and think about it. So today, remember this. To reach top production, sometimes you need to slow down, refresh, and restart, methodically and thoroughly. That's Festina Lente. Pause, reflect, plan, and then move forward with purpose. Pause, reflect, plan, and then move forward with purpose. Thank you so much for joining me on Owning the Goal today. If you found value in this episode, subscribe, share, and take a moment today to refresh and restart with intention. Your goals will thank you. Should I stay or should I go?